That's nice to hear. So let's talk a little bit about Days right now. How did you originally get the role of Abe?
Well, it's interesting. I had finished a show called Time Express on CBS. It was a nighttime series that I co-starred with Vincent Price. It's the only series, as a matter of fact, that Vincent Price ever did. And we had about a run of about a year. And when that was over, my agent had called me about another soap opera, and I'd never done a soap opera. I won't tell you which one it was. Still on the air. She called and said, they're interested in this role and wondered if you would do it. And, I said, well, I never done soap opera, so, let's explore it. She called a couple of days later and said, well, there's another role, that I had intended to tell you about on NBC, and they, for some reason, they're hesitant about seeing it. I don't know what it is, but, we'll follow up and see what happens. And it turns out that this succession of calls from my agent, a day or so after that, she called and said, they actually want to see you now, although the role is shooting very soon. So I don't know what this is all about. And so I thought they had a cast, but they want to see you. So I went in and read for it, and by the time I got home, another call from my agent said, well, the network wants to meet you. They want to see you. And they just want to know, can you remember lines? Can you learn lines quickly? And I said, well, yeah, sure, absolutely. So I went in and met them, and I will never forget, it was a Friday. This role started shooting on Monday. The only principal actor, actually one of only two principal actors that have been cast on the show since then without a screen test. And they had seen, I found out later, about 150, 160 actors, and actually had cast somebody or somebody they were going to cast. And I went in, and whatever I did, I was telling a good friend of mine who's a casting director the other night, I said, whatever I did, I wish I could bottle that, because it changed their mind, and they tweaked the character a little bit to make it fit me. And I got a call that Friday, can you be in on Monday? And that evening, messenger knocked on my door with a huge stack of scripts, and I began to have second thoughts. Do I really want to do this? Do I have to learn these scripts by Monday? And the answer was yes. And but that's how it happened. Ultimately, it happened very quickly, even though it was a process. And I had almost said yes to another soap, and who knows what the future would have been on that one.
Well, I always loved the the early years of Abe with Roman. When Wayne Northrup was playing Roman, I thought you guys had such great acting chemistry as both friends and police partners at the station, and also the scene when Roman faked his death during the Salem Stalker storyline. Yes. I just thought it was such great work out of both of you. Do you ever still talk to Wayne at all?
I do, and Wayne is a good friend. He to this day, and just a great guy. We don't see each other very often, but it's like old times when we do, and we saw each other at the memorial that we had for Francis, the show that we all gathered together and had, and it was like old times again, and just a big embrace, and stood there and listened to stories about Francis together. And no, absolutely. I feel very fortunate with that particular role. Those two characters were designed to come on together, although Abe came on, I think 6 weeks before Roman. But they're designed together. They grew up together as good friends and as best friends, and entered the police department. And for many years were the same rank, and then Abe became commander along the line. But I've been so fortunate with starting with Wayne, and then, of course, Drake Hogeson, and now Josh Taylor. And I consider all three to be good friends.
It reminds me of the time when all three of them were on the show at the same time.
Yes,
when
pretty
Wayne North
interesting.
came back as Alex North, and it was
right.
like, oh, as a viewer, that was kind of mind-blowing. I have a caller on the line, Kim from Southern California. I am bringing you on now. Hello, Kim.
Hi, Laurie.
Hi.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, Jane. Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Where are you from in Northern California?
No, Southern California. I'm just south of you.
Oh, Southern California. Oh.
Yeah,
great.
I'm just south of you.
Oh, wonderful.
I grew up in Huntington Beach, but I'm now in Lake Elsinore.
Oh, wow.
Which is just north of Temecula.
I know it well. My wife grew up in Poway.
Did she really? Oh.
Yeah.
I know Poway. Did she ever live in Huntington Beach?
No, she never did.
Oh,
she would have liked
really
to.
Familiar. Yeah.
She would have liked to. She lived. No, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I wanted to thank you for your service in Vietnam and for the Marine Corps. Mm-hmm. My best friend and business partner was a Marine for 35, 36 years. And being so close to Camp Pendleton, all my clients are all ex-Marines, and well, there's no such thing as an ex-Marine, but they were all lifers, and I understand you were stationed in Hawaii for a little while.
I was. Well, tell them all Semper Fi. 35 years in the Marine Corps.
Well, that's what I was going to say to you. Semper Fi. Thank you very much. And
I
have you ever?
Them.
Well, you were in Hawaii. Were you ever at Kaneohe?
That's where I was stationed. That's exactly where I was stationed in Hawaii.
In the 1970s?
No, earlier than that, in the 1960s.
Okay.
And it was a beautiful place to be stationed. I grew up in a very small town in Kansas, so my first trip on a plane was to boot camp, and my first duty station was Hawaii. So you can imagine, I just thought myself to be the most fortunate guy in the world.
Yeah, just a little lucky. Just a little lucky about that.
It's absolutely true.
Yeah, well, I wanted to tell you, I'm on FCT's mailing list, and I am so glad that you guys are doing Top Dog in August. I plan on being there. And
I'm thrilled.
Yep,
will you say hello to me?
I will. And thank you very much for making for keeping the prices of the tickets reasonable.
Well, we are doing our best. As you know, it's difficult out there, and no matter what your line of work is, your business is right now, and we really want to keep them reasonable. It's about the audience that comes in and sees us. And you sound like you've visited us before.
I know where the building is, but I've never seen the play. I love the building that you're in and that part of town, and I can't wait to see something live there.
Wonderful.
But I used to do a lot of live plays in L.A., and they've just gotten so astronomically unaffordable for me right now. So this is a good opportunity for me to see live theater again. I grew up seeing it. So.
Oh, that's great. Well, I'm looking forward to meeting you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting you too. I remember the day. I remember when I was actually a more of a frequent watcher of Days of Our Lives back in the early '80s, and I remember when you appeared on the show, and I'm like, yes. Finally, there's some minorities on television.
Yes. Well, we still have a ways to go on that, but we continue to work at it.